Because manners is steeped in whiteness. Manners is steeped in power. Manners is steeped in hierarchy. Manners is steeped in respectability politics. Manners and white fragility. Let's talk about it right quick. Y'all excuse my cup. It's raggedy. But listen here. So y'all know I teach interracial communication. Also, pop in on my live every Tuesday, Professor Prep. We talking real good stuff up in there. So this past week, we were talking about code switching. And we were talking about yes, ma'am, and no, ma'am. And again, we're in the South, a predominantly white space in my classes. So one of my students says, well, I'm so used to saying sir and ma'am, and my code switching, my authentic self is to say sir or ma'am. But, I want to be mindful of the other person, but that's just who I am. And I told him, first of all, always be proactive in understanding how that person receives sir or ma'am, because sometimes it is a gender thing, but other times it's just like, baby, I'm not nobody sir or nobody ma'am. You know what I'm saying? Like, it could be age, it could be anything. So you just need to be checking in. And I get it. I'm Southern. Sir and ma'am is how we were raised, but it is not applicable to everyone that we speak to. See, this is why we have to talk about manners, the South, and whiteness. Sir and ma'am were not only seen as manners, right, or that Southern hospitality, but sir and ma'am were also respectability politics and a hierarchy of order when it came to Black and white people. I'm talking about grown Black people were calling children sir or ma'am, so that everybody knew, especially if it was a Black man, that they were respecting order, that they were respecting hierarchy, and for that Black man, also making sure that there won't no funny business going on. Here's how that transitions into white fragility. Because white people, even since the age of 3, have been so used to Black people calling them sir or ma'am, or changing up to become more proper for them and change who they are. Even when the white people and children were wrong, Black people still had to call them sir or ma'am. Black people still had to stay poised and silent. So because of this, white people, especially white women, are so used to Black people treating them that way, changing up for them, showing them this level of sir and ma'am. And so now when we don't, now when we treat you like a person off the regular street, they're like, what do you mean? What do you mean? Now when we just be like, what you want? You're not supposed to be, you're disrespectful. That's not how you talk to me. That's how. I always tell people, be mindful of manners, because manners is steeped in whiteness. Manners is steeped in power. Manners is steeped in hierarchy. Manners is steeped in respectability politics. So don't be expecting folks, Black and brown folks especially, to be sitting here thinking we just gonna sir and ma'am, because our ancestors had to do that for survival, and we not them. And also, if you feel yourself becoming defensive or upset or fragile because a Black person is talking to you regular how we talk, then you need to examine the context about why that is, and maybe do a little bit deeper work on white fragility. Peace.